Welcome in, Cowboys Nation, to Cowboy Game Day Live, the halftime show brought to you by Dave's Hot Chicken, America's favorite chicken for America's favorite team. The Cowboys trail 17-10 in a competitive first half is what I'll call it. Both teams have made some good plays. Defenses making plays. Offenses scoring a few touchdown or two here and there. The Cowboys, what I thought were on their way to possibly a shootout type situation, because I thought, hey man, I'm driving the ball. Bengals score, you score, Bengals score. And then the turnover happened. Yep. Right? And we talked about how you can't have that. You just cannot turn the ball over, especially when you're down there inside the 10-yard line or whatever it was for the Cowboys. And after that, the Bengals went on and scored about 10 more points, and they're leading now 17-10, Jesse.
Yeah, we talked about it in the beginning of this game, and I thought that you used a fantastic analogy was, you know, if we're going to use basketball terms, that the Cowboys can't get into this, we have to be the Warriors three-point contest to keep up with the Bengals. We have to be more San Antonio Spurs. And they had that drive, that opening drive of the game where it felt very, very Greg Popovich, Tony Parker, you know, Tim Duncan, a level of offense that they ran. They ran the ball, and they still run the ball well. Right now, Rico has 10 carries for 60 yards, 6 yards a carry at half. That's a great
four games in a row, he's had like 50 yards at halftime.
The Cowboys have to lean back onto that. Don't get into this pass-happy situation when you get down there in that red zone. Don't be afraid to run the football. You're able to run the football on this team, and you want to keep them out of rhythm offensively. But the turnover happened on there on a miscommunication. Cooper Rush, he was anticipating the slant on the pick route to come open. He was hoping the guy would either go underneath or bubble over and the slant would be there. The linebacker and CD ran into each other. Had he been looking at the thing properly, tight ends wide open in the corner of the end zone for a touchdown. So, you know, that's when you have that, when you talk about the matchups. You talk about Joe Burrow and his ability to have the anticipatory throws, and then you have a guy like Cooper Rush a lot of times who is predetermining when the ball is going to go, and he's already made his mind up. The ball goes there. It's a tip interception. So the Cowboys, I mean, right now they're still in this game, but you start thinking about what the Bengals are capable of offensively, right? They're going to go and get 28 points. Do the Cowboys have enough in their offensive arsenal to go out there and match them point for point in the second half?
I don't believe they do, but if they're going to have any shot at matching them, if it gets to that point, they got to get the ball into their playmakers' hands and not just CeeDee Lamb. Yes, CeeDee Lamb has the 4 receptions, 71 yards, and he did get the touchdown to break the streak of 5 games with no touchdown. But outside of CeeDee Lamb, no other wide receiver has a reception right now. No other player has more than 1 reception right now. You're getting blanketed by Brandon Cooks, no touches, no Kevontae Turpin involved on offense, and then 1 catch by Jake Ferguson for 4 yards where they threw it behind line of scrimmage. You had to make somebody miss, so they're not even getting Jake in opportunistic situations. So that Michael from Pittsburgh turning to Big Freaky Mike right at the beginning of the game, he got to get back in that bag. Yeah. Because you're not going to be able to win this way when none of your other playmakers are touching the rock right now. So if that means they got to get into some more play action situations with Turpin on some overs or Cooks on some of those overs, so be it. But they got to generate some big plays outside of CeeDee Lamb. If not, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, the big problem is, and it's been this way with Cooper Rush and this offense, is he doesn't have the arm to really stretch the ball down the football field. So what defense begins, but what they begin to do is they start saying, well, okay, cool, we're going to give you everything underneath, rally and tackle to that. And we talk about playing the percentages. We're going to just hope and pray that throughout that time that you're going to make a mistake, that we're going to read it right. You're going to throw an incompletion. We're going to get a little bit of pressure to you, and now your passes are going to be off. You saw the one play on the third down in the red zone where Mike McCarthy, the camera panned to him, and he was upset. Cooper Rush and Jalen Tolbert got on the same page. And when you go back and look at that route, Jalen Tolbert has a shallow cross. You knew it was man-to-man because when they went in motion, you saw the cornerback go in motion with CeeDee Lamb to the other side. That's a clear indication. Bling, 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 bling. They're in man-to-man. Jalen Tolbert, keep the shallow cross, stair-stack that defender, but keep it on the run. Jalen Tolbert set down at the opposite ghost tight end. The pass was kind of being thrown towards. He was going to keep running. Incomplete pass. You miss an opportunity to continue on to score points in the red zone. Had to settle for a field goal. So it's those little things that happen in the game. The pick route that should have went to the tight end and didn't go to the tight end. That would have resulted in a touchdown. So it's all these small things that are happening within this offense that are limiting your opportunity to score points, because you need that, because the ability for you to score chunk plays, unless it's something short like CeeDee Lamb taking a screen, reversing the field, going 44 yards.
Yeah.
Other than that, you don't have the ability with your quarterback to take those chunk plays down the field and score 30, 40, 50-yard plays in the passing game.
That Tolbert play you were talking about was on third down, and that's, the two areas that kind of tell the story for the Cowboys offense. Really three turnovers, obviously. You got one in the red zone. Third down deficiency. They're 1 for 5 on third downs. And, of course, the bugaboo that we always see every single week, red zone. They're 1 for 3 in the red zone with 1 turnover. So the Cowboys just aren't playing good enough offensively, I think, to win this game. So when you flip it to the other side of the ball.
And before you get up there, and what's crazy is they're 1 for 3 in the red zone on self-inflicted wounds. The third down play to Tolbert, that's football. Honestly, that's receiver one-on-one. Yeah. When you have a shallow cross and it's man-to-man, you keep moving. Like, that is literally one-on-one in receiver running that. And then the pick play that should have went to the tight end, but he predetermined he was going to go to the ball. That's a self-inflicted wound or self-inflicted missed opportunity by the Cowboys.
On that Tolbert play, he also got mugged at the line. Not like a penalty. He just got bullied at the line of scrimmage, and I don't think he was able to get enough depth on his route, and then he stopped the route. So you just had a double whammy right there, and it was pressure on Cooper Rush. One thing I'm noticing, there's obviously a big difference between Cooper Rush and Joe Burrow.
A little bit.
But when one is pressured, you see Joe stepping up in that pocket and delivering strikes, or giving his guys opportunities. Now, there's like 3 drops for the Cincinnati Bengals, so they're not playing great ball because they're up 7. And then Rush, that's just not his game, man.
No.
So when there is pressure, he's not able to step inside and have the ability and arm talent to get it there. Rush needs to be able to set and get it and deliver it, or if he is moving, it's got to be a guy wide open running it there. And if the Cowboys, again, can't manufacture that, they're going to need the defense to make some plays, and it hasn't happened just yet. They did get a 4th down stop, which is kind of like a turnover.
Yeah.
But we talked about it. You can't just pressure Joe Burrow.
No.
You have to sack him. You can't just sack Joe Burrow. You got to force fumbles.
Yep.
You can't just knock the ball away. You got to get picks.
Yep.
Because you're not good enough on the offensive side of the ball to match serve and score. Now, while they may have not, the offense went 6 straight possessions with a 3 and out or a punt or a turn, but they're 1 for 5 and 1 for 3 in the red zone and in third down position. That's just as bad. So it's going to be interesting to see the adjustments they make. They do get the ball in the second half. If I was them, copy paste the very first possession, right? Run the ball to Rico. He's having success. Maybe get him outside a little bit more. Maybe get some more pre-snap motion. No jet sweeps to Turpin to me is criminal. I feel like you should get at least 2 in each half every single game. You don't have enough firepower at the quarterback position not for him to touch the ball in those situations. So I feel like they got to come out and do a little bit of that. Because if they don't, and they go down and they score just 3, 10 points feels like 17.
Yeah.
And that's going to, I don't know if they're going to be able to do it without a touchdown from a defense or special team.
And defensively, the thing that the Cowboys have to do, yes, you have to get pressure on Joe Burrow, but you got to be disciplined in your rush lanes, because that's one thing I think over time that Joe Burrow has gotten. I guess he's gained this skill from the lack of offensive line that he's always had.
He's got practice.
He's got a ton of practice on understanding, and he's really good with keeping two hands on the ball and maneuvering in that pocket, finding those rush lanes, keeping his eyes down the football field, sliding up, and then delivering the ball down there. So for the Cowboys, when they're rushing, if you can't get to him, you have to make sure that you're eliminating those rush lanes. You're eliminating his lanes getting through. So when the Cowboys are rushing the ball, stay disciplined in your rush lanes. Continue to push that pocket, make it difficult for him, but don't give him those openings because you got two guys, running back to back, up each other's back, trying to get to the quarterback. Now he finds that open space. He climbs the pocket, two hands on the football, and is able to deliver the ball to one of his receivers down the field.
And he's making sure the two hands because the Pittsburgh Steelers got him twice last week, and I'm pretty sure that's in the back of his mind.
Yep. Plus,
he knows that Michael Parsons over there, T.J. Watt got him last week with the sack fumble. I can't remember the Scooper scorer. It was Highsmith who did it. But either way, he's being mindful of that. And honestly, that's how they're going to get, not they're in the game, but win this game is by pressuring and making Joe Burrow make a mistake. Because, he had 3 tutties last week, but he had 3 turnovers last week too. So if you can't get him to turn this ball over, I said this to you during the game, what I've noticed from the Cowboys defense, even in the way they're playing well, they'll go through a spurt where the opposing offense does get on a roll, and they'll score a touchdown or 2. And it's already happened. Joe Burrow is 133 quarterback rating right now. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, not putting the ball in harm. 19 for 26. Yep. I mean, he's been really efficient. They aren't running the ball well, but we know that's not what they do. They just kind of run the ball to stay on track. It's all about getting Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. We talk about Yosivas. You got to watch out for Yosivas. He's got a 23-yard gain in this game. Chase Brown out the backfield. I don't see their offense just not being able to move the ball. You're going to have to be the force multiplier on defense and make something happen, Jesse, or this thing is going to get out of hand.
No, you're absolutely right. And the Achilles heel for the Cowboys have been coming out of the half, right? That third quarter for the most of this year, with and without Dak Prescott, the defense and the offense have kind of stalled in that third quarter, and teams have kind of found their rhythm in that third quarter. You look at a lot of the losses that they had this year, you see that the teams begin to pull away from the Cowboys in that third quarter. So
halftimes look like this. Like 5 straight games. It feels like.
And so for the Cowboys, they get the ball coming out of the half. What do you do with the possession of the football when you come out of the half? You got to get points on the board and put the pressure back on the Bengals. If you go and get a 3 and out or 4-5 and out, whatever, you get a first down, but then you punt it on the second part of that, and then they go down and score. You find yourself down 24-10. That's a tough road to toe for this Cowboys offense.
I think it's insurmountable. The Cowboys have shown, especially given the last 4 games, that that's something that they can't do. They're not scoring 14 points or overcoming a 14-point deficit in the second half. It's not something that they're equipped to do right now. I need Mike McCarthy and this offense to, I hate to say it because now I feel like we're playing that 3-point game, but I feel like they need to play a little bit more desperate. I don't see that enough from this offense, meaning like throw the kitchen sink a little bit.
I think in this third quarter you're still within it. You're still within it. So I think if you can come out and replicate what you did the first drive, and it's perfect. That's right. Like I think that is the game plan you come out with. Now you go down, like you said, 14 points. All that's out the window. Now we got to go and shoot. We got to shoot 4-point plays now.
I think what I mean, maybe I should use the word urgency. And I don't necessarily mean speeding up. I just mean I need my play calls and my designs to be a bit more aggressive. Again, I know we're running the ball well, but you don't got to just run it up the A gap just to play keep away. You can run a toss. You can run a jet sweep to Turpin. You can run a reverse. Like, I know we don't want to get into the Kellen glitch stuff, but it's weird. I watched the games around the league, and I just see certain offenses just throw the kitchen sink at teams a little bit more. So we'll see. Cowboys are kicking off, or the Bengals are kicking off right now. We'll see the Cowboys do as they get the ball in the second half. This has been the halftime show brought to you by Dave's Hot Chicken.